Welcome to the Waldorf GridIron Club Podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret gridiron bunker beneath Waldorf Field. Now, let's meet the captains of today's podcast.
Our captains today come from all over the place, actually, two places. Our linebacker, number 44, Jacob Ray, is senior from San Diego, California, better known as J. Ray. If you would have to press me for what your first name is, it's like J. J. Ray.
Right.
So, yeah. Then we've got the wide receiver from Fort Worth, Texas, Seth Oaks, number 34. And no clever nicknames for Seth.
I've one. Call me Soaks.
Soaks?
Oh, yeah, I see how that works. Yeah,
I've never heard that before. Yeah. I like that a lot. So, thanks for getting here today, guys. Should be a good time here in the secret underground bunker beneath Waldorf Field.
Right.
So
be telling people how to get here.
Oh yeah, don't. Yeah, that's
secret.
Big time secret.
Right.
So, J. Ray, you and tell me. So, okay, if you've ever listened to this, you've seen that my facts are usually way off. I was trying to make Nolan Frohwein like the class treasurer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was. Yep.
He was not. Well, he looks like the guy that'd be a treasurer.
Sure.
They're great people. So you come to us from San Diego, California, correct?
Yes, sir.
Like just San Diego proper?
That's proper. I come. There's two areas I'm from. I'm from Lemon Grove and Encano, specifically those areas. But San Diego just works, honestly.
House in La Jolla for the weekend?
Oh, I'm telling you, La Jolla is one of the nicest places in San Diego.
It's the nicest place in North America.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the weather's always great.
It is the most expensive.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. Well, you get what you pay for.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah, the weather. So you went to Helix Charter High School, the Highlanders, and that was in La Mesa.
Yep.
You wore number 8, and we got you on 44 now.
Yeah.
So your senior year at Helix Charter, and I got to be honest, they didn't have any of your tackle information. The only thing that they had from back in the day was 3 interceptions for 88 yards. I know there was more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big deal for me, honestly, just because my secondary was actually pretty good that year, and I was able to, just play pretty good defense and get those picks, and I was second. Well, not necessarily second, but I was second for the linebacking core of picks. The other guy we had was Michael Shawcroft. He was a phenomenal athlete. He had more,
right.
But yeah.
So you come from like a big name high school out there, is that right?
Yeah, honestly, I would like to say probably the best high school in San Diego or Southern California.
What makes it so good?
Tradition. Everything there is based off tradition and the mindset that goes around there. We're known for being pretty physical and being really fundamental and having high level coaching from that school. A lot of, like I said, history and tradition there. Reggie Bush went there. Alex Smith is, they're from that high school. And ever since, there's guys like, Jason Van, who's probably the best running back coach in San Diego, DeMazia Jones, that's defensive coordinator there. All those guys played at Division I level, and they bring in that knowledge to Helix Charter. And all those guys there, man, they're all dogs. Like, they're all studs. So
cool.
Yeah.
So Reggie played for the Saints,
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, Troy.
I did.
You did. I didn't play for the Vikings. So Troy is a Vikings faithful, which, and that doesn't make him a horrible person, but kind of.
Well, it makes it easy, to you don't have to worry about what I'm wearing to a Waldorf game. Might have some Viking stuff on.
Purple stuff.
Yeah, very similar. Back in the day, the Waldorf just totally snagged, pretty much the logo and everything.
Oh, they did.
Oh,
they
yeah.
had it all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So J. Ray, last year, your junior year at Waldorf, 34 tackles total, 12 solo, 22 assists, half a sack, 3.5 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups, 2 fumble recoveries. And then we come out against Briar Cliff, one of the leaders, our first game, victorious, obviously, against the Briar Cliff. What are they? The Chargers?
Yeah.
Okay. Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Chargers. You had 6 tackles, 3 solos, 3 assists, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. So, you look at the defensive stats, you were right up there as far as our leaders, but also it was spread all over the place.
Yeah, on the whole defensive side, man, we did our thing. I like to say defensively we're pretty strong, and we have a lot of returners. But I think everyone from our 2 deep on defense could play and be game changers for this team. And the stats prove it. Our guys, we work pretty freaking hard on the field and off the field, mentally, and we all check up on each other. And I think as a group on defense, we have pretty good chemistry. So
it seemed like it. Yeah, for sure. You did lead in sacks, you led in tackles last week, and you did get a sack for a loss of 5, which is pretty awesome. And then Halverson had the other one. So, good game for you. And I talked to McCoy Yakel. I had to see him at a volleyball game in town recently, and what was
Yakel doing at a volleyball game?
Well, he dates it's like the whole family.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. They have to travel in.
They do, and they do good job. And then they support him too. So it's kind of fun. But I saw him at the gate, and then coming in, I was like, "Hey, good job with the interception. Appreciate that." And he's like, "Seems like you should have gotten a lot more because they sure did throw a lot." Yeah. So I feel like what's going on there?
I mean, I think
it was.
I think personally, I mean, like our secondary is pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
And I think also on the front line, I mean, we're putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Absolutely.
They didn't really run too much on us. That towards the beginning, it kind of took us a minute to get in our groove and honestly, like, shut that down. But like once we're going on defense. And like I said, our secondary is pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
On top of our run defense. So.
Yeah, you did a good job getting them stopped at the run. They weren't very successful there. They did have a couple of breakaways, but that happens. And then they had that one return off of a kickoff, which was unfortunate for because they did certainly score more than they did last year when they were just held to a field goal. But I'm not giving you any guff. I think that our defense is pretty darn good, and I'm very proud of our secondary. So I'm looking forward to seeing some things and grabbing those passes because they did throw a lot, and I just like they're going to air it out. We ought to be bringing them down. So yeah,
totally.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to go across the table to Seth Oaks. Again,
we're just going to leave it with that. Listen, you should have had more interceptions, and we're going to go talk to the offense guy. Yeah.
So
had a great game. Also,
I was going to say the offensive guy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that was quite a performance on Saturday from Seth. Seth Oaks, he's that wide receiver we talked about, big number 34. Not just here at the Woo, he also wore that in high school when he went to Castleberry. Is that right, Seth?
Yes, sir. I actually went to 2 high schools, but
what was the other one?
Chisholm Trail High School.
I think I did see that, and I'm like, must be another Seth Oaks.
No, I went there for my freshman and sophomore year. Then I transferred back to Castleberry.
So, your career at Castleberry, 100 catches for 1,750 yards. Wow.
Yeah.
You're averaging 17 and a half yards a catch, 22 touchdowns. 17 of those were receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So, Waldorf got a good one in Seth, and we found that out on Saturday. I looked at your stats last year, Seth, and they didn't, I was having a hard time finding the career stats. But last year, you were targeted 11 times for 134 yards. You averaged 12.2 per catch. So our first game this year, you decided to come out and in 4 catches, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, the long at 86. And actually, I'm going to give Cade Kloster-Hodak credit for that. And I'll tell you why later. He was named the NorthStar's Offensive Player of the Week. He was named one of the most valuable athletes by the Waldorf SAC. And then right now, the guy sitting across right next to you, Troy, is number 4 in the nation in receiving. Number 4. Now, granted, we haven't all played, but at the same time,
that's right.
Number 4, bro.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations, Seth.
Yeah,
I didn't know all that.
Yeah, keep that up. I mean, the Bees haven't played yet, so.
No, and one of the things that Coach Finley said last night about Seth, and it's very, very true, is that he's Mr. Everything.
Okay.
You've played it all. You've been all over the field. Yeah. So you come here as a wide receiver. What are the different spots you've played with Waldorf so far?
With Waldorf, I played slot, receiver, and then I motion to the backfield and play running back sometimes. So
yeah, and you got the frame for it and the speed.
oh yeah,
And that's one of the things I think I think Briar Cliff was a little surprised that, because it was kind of a broken play, that 86-yarder.
oh yeah. I didn't realize it was 86 yards until after. I'm like, wow, that was really 86 yards. He's like, yeah. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and you just took off on them. They couldn't catch you at all. And one of the things that I talk about quite a bit is I have the opportunity to watch these guys in practice, and Seth practices and plays with a lot of intensity. And then he's usually the last guy in the locker room. I mean, you go out and catch jugs. You go catch the jugs machine, and then ice bath or whatever you need to do, going down with the trainer, and then you just take your time getting yourself out of there, which is a good thing. So congratulations on this first week, and can't wait to see what's going to happen the rest of the season.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
It's fun to see Waldorf represented like that. And of course, we hope that that's the case every single week.
Yeah, so Texas high school football is a different breed. I know J-Ray would probably say California.
I was about to say.
These are not small states we're talking about.
Come on, man. That's why the number 1 and number 2 ranked high school teams are in California, bro.
Oh, there they are.
It's a bad year. Bad year.
They recruited some kids out of Texas.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how that works?
It is.
Yeah.
So, Seth, how big was your high school?
Yeah. It's not area.
Castleberry was about, I'm not sure. My graduating class was like 250 students. So
Oh, okay.
Wasn't huge, but
Yeah.
big. I
Yeah.
mean, especially for around here. So,
yeah.
growing up in the Fort Worth area, was there a lot of culture shock coming up to Fort City?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a culture shock.
Was it just the weather or just everything?
Everything. I mean, but back home, there's like different races, people. I hang out with different groups of people, and here, it's just different. And the weather, talking about that stuff, the weather is crazy. Like all the winter is just horrible.
Well, he's not wrong.
No, we like our winter. Yeah, but that's what makes it special.
Well, and again, a friend of ours, he told me one time that if the weather was like it's going to be on Saturday all the time, then everybody'd live here.
Yeah, we can't have that.
No,
that was a little. Yeah,
we like our space around here.
Right.
I like the space here too. I mean, I like coming from big cities. Sometimes coming out here is a big relief.
Oh, sure.
Being from a big city, it's fun and all that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a little too much. But like I said, here it's a pretty big area and it's a good getaway.
Yeah, wide open spaces. We like that.
Yeah, we were just talking about on the way over. We were like, dude, it seems like a movie because we were playing some music and the sunset was like glaring on the car and like the cornfields and we were just cruising, like swerving, like not swerving, but like how like it's kind of loopy here.
Yeah. Wait, how did you get out here now? Was swerving out here? That's great. You do get to see. Yeah, when you're in a metropolitan area, I mean, there's wide open spaces in Texas, obviously, and then you don't have to go. You got to go a ways in the San Diego area to get out there, but you got the ocean, which is awesome. So
I love it.
Check that out and get that nice sunset there too. Yeah. When on our honeymoon, we went down to the Keys, and one of the things that everybody wanted to do in the Keys is they want to go down and they want to see the sunset against the Gulf of Mexico, and that was the time that we went to the bar because we're like, no, we get it. We see a sunset every night, So you guys go ahead. And they would like get their drinks and go down, sit on the beach, and like, oh look, because they hadn't, if they're from super metropolitan area, they're not seeing the sunset.
Yeah,
so, yeah. Glad you saw that.
So Seth, coming up, you had the last couple of years under Coach Rohach, and then now you have Coach Paramore, which he has a little bit different flair.
Yeah,
and I think there was a lot of nerves on Saturday about this offense that we're expecting a lot out of.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, you got to throw it up against the wall and see how it sticks. How'd everything feel from your perspective, the offensive side?
Honestly, it felt great. Our big thing going into that game was to establish the run game. So start getting that going, and then our pass game was perfect, awesome like that. So I feel like just running the ball, and throwing it really set it up really good.
Yeah, amazing receptions, and then lots of hard work on running. And we met Sione a couple episodes ago, and he just
my guy.
Hammered away at it, and gosh, it was awesome to see the offense.
Well, and John's not huge, and he'd take some of those hits like, oh,
I know.
Wow, they're going to carry him out.
And they would celebrate. They're like, oh, congratulations, you tackled our smallest guy, and they would like it
4 yards downfield.
Yeah, exactly.
He held him to 4 guys.
Yeah.
So
we're critical of that. That was pretty good.
Well, so what do you see as some of the stark differences between your time here and your senior year now?
Just Coach P, he brings in more like a like a down south, more offense and stuff like that. So it's more explosive, big plays and all that stuff. So, I mean, Coach Litz's offense was like that too. And then Coach Rohawk came in and kind of changed stuff up. And then, I don't know, it's just Coach P's going to feel great. This offense is going to feel great. So.
He at that game, and maybe this is a thing. My kids they know who he is, and he's been out to the podcast and whatnot. But dude dresses all in black, wears a white hat that's turned around, bill down on the back. And it's got the smallest Waldorf College logo, Waldorf University logo, like you got it at the bookstore or something. Is that so you can see him when he calls in the plays, or what is the like? He's clearly. One of these guys is not like the other on the sideline.
I mean, I don't know what it was.
It's just his style.
No, and I was wondering the same thing because he was dressed in all black.
Yeah.
And he had a white hat on. And I thought, well, that probably makes some sense because as he's calling in,
stands out,
signaling in the offensive plays to these guys.
Yeah.
He
stands out like 4 yards onto the field most of the time anyway.
I noticed that. He was like halfway on the field. I'm like, can we like get a flag for that or something?
See, I was at that halftime I stopped by and you guys were had kind of like a weird circumstance with the small locker room over there and you guys are hanging around. I talked to Andy and I was like, I mean, if we get a sideline violation, I'm gonna say that it's gonna go.
We had already had a warning by that time too.
We did,
Yeah. Guys, get back behind the white line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No strategy that you're aware of, maybe just fashion. Probably what it is.
Probably just fashion.
Well, let's see what he wears on Saturday because you guys probably I don't know if you've heard yet what the get up is for Saturday.
No.
You're wearing black on black.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
All right.
Black on black with the new helmets. It's going to look sharp. So I'm guessing.
And the numbers are purple?
Pardon?
Are they purple?
Oh, they're clear. Helmets are purple.
No, the numbers.
The numbers.
On the jersey?
Numbers on
They're
the
white.
jersey.
They're white.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, black with white.
I'll tell you what.
It'd be hard to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, that's awesome. Glad you guys are happy. I have no idea who made that play.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know this, Troy is the on-field voice of the Warriors. He's the PA guy. So, he's the, I don't know what you say. I don't really listen.
Well, yeah, but it is, third down, make some noise. We got that started a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It was fun,
Another Warrior.
First down. To teach the crowd how to react.
Yeah.
So we got them trained now pretty good. They're doing a good job making noise on third down and so forth.
Yeah.
And for defense, that makes a big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Jay Ray, there's not been a whole lot of changes defensively as far as the philosophy. Coach Daniels was probably your coach last year.
Yeah, he was my coach for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And Finley just took on pretty much our role of outside and inside. He's kind of managing both. We have two student coaches that are doing their best, and they're doing a great job trying to help us out and do everything. But yeah, I had Coach Daniels the last 3 years.
So who's that? Is that Coach Deuce and Coach Stu?
Yeah.
Coach Deuce.
Coach Stu and our Coach Stu.
So Coach Stu, his birthday
It's today.
is today, the day that we record this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Saw him. I talked to him for 5 minutes.
Didn't say happy birthday?
Didn't know.
No.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah, day late. A little bit day late. Yeah, we recorded
$1
this a little
short.
bit late. Yeah. That's all right. So do you prefer Jay? Because one of the things, it's like if I announce your name, and I certainly will, particularly, since you're leading tackles, so I'm going to say, you want that to be Jay Ray?
I mean, my whole life I've been known as Jay Ray. Like even my mom, my sisters.
Yeah.
Like, literally, there's people at home that don't know my first name. They know me as Jay Ray. And teachers know me as Jay Ray. I mean that would be fine.
But that's what you want. That's what we'll do. Because I've learned from the podcast and meeting the different players and whatnot. Like DQ, for example, would really prefer to be just DQ.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants.
And you made a big deal of it. It's the best part. When DQ was on the podcast, and Troy said, "Oh, I just love seeing you."
Yeah.
Talk about Daquan McCobb.
Yeah.
And then he came to me after, and he's like, "Hey, this podcast thing." He goes, "I heard these guys got fed."
Yeah, he was early. He was one of the first guys. We were in there.
Well, and it was the timing.
Yeah.
But then he's like, it's like, yeah, and he goes, "And do they have to call me by my given name?" No. I'm like, "Well,
play whatever
no."
you want." Yeah. But I don't know that, and I just have the roster. So if you've got something that
I mean whatever rules. Sometimes I feel like people struggle to say Jay Ray back home. I mean whatever is easier for you. I'm okay with Jacob Ray. I mean I don't usually hear my first name too much, but I mean, eventually I feel like I'm going to have to start using my first name for everything.
Yeah.
So,
well, give it time. If you want to be, our oldest boy is Taylor, but we almost never call him that. So he's got a real job now and everything. He was always Tate. So, yeah, I got it. Well, we'll go with J. Ray if that's what you want. Otherwise, Jacob's, on the roster.
I do want to hear and touchdown Soaks number 34.
Soaks. That's what look. It might happen.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That could very well happen.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, especially the touchdown part.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to see Seth. I'd like to see you rack up about 15, 18 of them bad boys this year.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, and there's so many targets on the offensive side.
There's
wide receiver.
So many weapons. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that has to actually play well. I was going to say that has to play well for you. Not anymore. Not after last week. That I'm sure they were looking at Sam, thinking, hey, we got to make sure that we're covering him. And I don't know if that had any bearing. Again, that was that broken play that was the big gain for you.
Yeah.
That 86-yarder that you came back for the ball and then boom, just great move and down the field. And man, they were trying their best to catch you, but they just did not have the wheels.
Didn't get caught from behind this year. So.
Yeah, this guy, we would give him some crap last year. He had I don't know how many opportunities. Like, he had good opportunities, but there were some times where we were like, "Come on, Seth," and here comes DB, and we're like, "Oh, damn, Seth, you need to unhook the trailer, dude."
Yeah.
No, but he's definitely gotten a lot faster. I mean,
it's been unhooked. So
It's unhooked.
It's unhooked now.
Untethered now. Just out there. Go.
Yeah. So J. Ray on the squad that you have, not just linebackers, but defense entirely, those pigs up front, you got Erdy, Gunner, DQ, those guys, they open it up for you.
Oh yeah. They make life easy for us.
Yeah.
For sure. We like to say, I mean, if they're not doing their job, it's going to be hard because if they're getting pushed to our level, they're definitely going to run the ball on us. But those guys up front, man, those guys are beasts. And majority of those guys we've been with for the past 4 years or 3 years, and we've seen each other grind and work hard and get to where we are today. Joe Halverson used to play linebacker, and they transitioned him to D-line, did a great job.
Yeah.
Gunner's always played DN, and he's grown a lot. Like, a lot of us are still growing. I mean, we're still growing. Like, we're good, but we're still going to get better. And that's the crazy part about this season is we're going to only get better.
You had a scrimmage about a week and a half, I suppose, into being on campus and everything. And then just the improvement between the 2 weeks between that and then the game out in Sioux City. So it's really exciting because where you're going to be at each and every week. And then we do have a couple of buys or whatever this season. So there's an opportunity to, continue to drill down on those things. So yeah, really looking for, obviously if you're not improving, what are you guys doing? So you guys it's clear that's what's happening. And I like seeing that everything's gelling and the offense was looking really, really strong and the defense was looking fantastic, and I would, except for, you could probably maybe one or two more interceptions,
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Throughout the season, those interceptions.
I'll tell you what, if you get a pick six or something like that, just turn and just point to the booth, and I'll be like, okay, duly noted, come on out.
So Seth, Troy alluded to some of those improvements that he saw between the game and the scrimmage. Is that something that you guys can see and feel when you're out there at practice? Like, we had a great practice today.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like?
I mean, from the scrimmage to the first game we had, it was kind of sloppy because coming in, we had like a week at most to get ready for a scrimmage. So plus it's a new offense too. So we had some new guys come in.
Yeah.
Had to learn the offense like that. So I feel like as the weeks go on, more practices like that, we're starting to click and getting everything going together. So it's
And again, so that was a team. It's a 2-year college. They haven't changed their playbook for a decade or maybe longer. They kind of know what they're always going to do, and yeah, for sure. Yeah, you guys, it was nice. I mean, you just look so in comparison, to Briar Cliff. You just look like it was, I don't want to say it was a breeze because you obviously were working hard, and there were some moments I think that you might have had a little bit of frustration. But I saw good things on the sidelines too. I didn't see anybody getting down. There was no attitude. It was just like, oh, okay, they got a break. They got away from us for a minute or whatever it happened to be, and just went right back out there. And like DQ said, I heard him. He's loud. He can't miss it when he does talk. He listened, and even from the top of the stands on the visitor side, he's like, he's like, well, there's a lot of football left, and it was only in the first quarter, and he was right.
Yeah, from the offensive side too, the O-line.
Oh yeah,
That was impressive.
oh yeah.
Real good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Coop had like all the time in the world. And of course, he's pretty aggressive anyway. So, I don't know if they were prepared for that.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I think they put in a lot of work this past summer and in spring, because back then, I mean, I'm not going to lie, our offense would struggle giving that guy a lot of time, or any of our
Right.
quarterbacks a bunch of time. And that was just, one of the truths to our offense. But this year, I mean, with the return of Zach coming back and,
Yeah.
Cade's still there, and then just having Logan Miller, like those guys are really good, man. And they put in a lot of work too, man. So one thing I love about our team is we work pretty hard. And
Oh, you absolutely do. And so that reminds me of, back to the scrimmage. One of the things that, I commented on was like, gosh, Coop's dropping the ball a lot. Like, what's happening there? And we talked to coaches like that. And Finley was like, well, you've got a lot of experienced quarterback, experienced center, not experienced together. And so they've been working on that like crazy. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see. And then, of course, we get out to, Sioux City, and just smooth, no issues. It was awesome.
yeah,
Well, does that bring them nerves too? Is that, everything that was anticipated about that offense, it was like, hey, this is going to be a potent, fast moving offense. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of quick hits. And it should have the opportunity to score well. So we played Briar Cliff, and it's like, so are we that good? Or, I mean, I was talking to a guy. We stopped in Sheldon on the way over in the bus, and there was a father and son in the park, and, hey, where are you guys from? And it's like a Waldorf University. And, oh yeah, where are you going? Sioux City. We're going to play Briar Cliff. He goes, are they any good? So we're better.
Yeah.
That's all I told him.
Yeah.
So is there some of that? Okay, now we're going up against Saint Ambrose. We played them close last year.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a first-year coach as far as head coach. He's been there.
Right.
As
Slid
DC.
over.
Yeah,
Been
he
there
just
3
slid
years.
over.
Yep.
So defense, you kind of know what to expect. So that'll help on the offensive side. The defensive side, not necessarily. Is there still that level of almost, I don't want to say anxiety, just that unknown, against somebody like Saint Ambrose?
yeah, I think that's there. Defensively, I feel it. I mean, you could feel it on the defensive side that we're a little unsure of what they're going to run, but I mean, we're also really excited because it's just another opportunity to prove ourselves right. And one thing Coach Finley said in the room today is, that I picked up was, prove us right, rather than saying prove them wrong, like prove us right, and
Right.
I think we're going to prove ourselves right, this kind of Saturday, that regardless of what we're going to face up, we're going to make adjustments, and we're going to prove that we're just better than them,
Yeah.
We work our butts off, we're smart, we're a veteran team, and our coaching as well we're really good. So
Yeah. And you hear throughout the week, win them all at home, 1-0 each week.
Yeah,
And
and that's definitely the mindset
Mhm.
as a team. I mean, Seth will tell you, we still till this day. So our freshman year was one of the biggest things that was started was 1-0 every week, and that's
Right.
honestly one of the greatest things I've probably heard since playing football, because it's so true. I mean, we have a goal, obviously a big goal,
Sure.
but we can never achieve that goal without taking that first step. And that's
Yep.
one of the things I tell people, like at home and stuff, like, they ask me advice, like, oh, like I want to do this and that. I'm like, cool. I'm like, you could do that, but how do I get to this door right now? I can't
Mhm.
do that without taking a step.
Right.
And that's what you got to worry on first, is what's ahead of you, and I think we're, as a team, we're doing pretty well at that. We're not looking past this team, and we know they're good.
Right.
We're not sitting here saying they're a bad team.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah, they do have a. I don't know a lot about them just because the roster wasn't complete yet. When I looked at it a few days ago, I mean, the coach's information was in there. He's been there for 3 years. He slid over as the head coach now in the spring, and then nobody on the team, with the exception of maybe like one guy, and I'm not even sure how significant his role is has been there longer than 3 years. They're all pretty new. That's pretty normal for a new head coach. So there's probably some changes that they're figuring out, but they haven't played a game yet, so I can't even tell you, what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the things I'm always interested in from an offensive point of view, Seth, is your feelings about, again, nothing against any previous coaches, but last year with seeing the differences in what are some of the things you like about your new offense?
It's really explosive. It's mainly air raid, but our pass game sets up our run game, and our run game sets up our pass game. So I feel like it all clicks together real well. and just really explosive and put a lot of points on the board. And by doing that, we're gonna win.
Yeah, there was we put up 42 on Saturday, and we only bested that twice last year against Presentation and I think Iowa Wesleyan, the powerhouse of the NSAA.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, there was some. See what you did there. They
Every week
there were some beautiful grabs on Saturday's game. I mean, there was a couple that were deep, and it was like I couldn't quite see, and it was like we got it. Amazing. Like that's what you want to see like every Saturday, where you're like, well, he fell down, but he probably caught it.
Oh yeah.
And if I'm at home, I'll say that he did, and then they'll say, no, incomplete or whatever. I'm like, but
exactly.
you know what I mean.
All right. Well, let's dig into the personal life a little bit. So, Seth, when you're back home and growing up down there in Fort Worth, what'd you do down there for fun?
Mainly play football, play basketball, and hang out with my family, work out, and do other kid stuff, I guess. But that's mainly it right there.
So in a town like, obviously the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a little bit bigger than, say, Forest City.
Yeah.
A lot more stuff to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the things what's the one thing that you wish you could bring from home to Forest City?
The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
That's a good one, yeah. I don't know. The weather for sure. Year-round weather. So
yeah, that would be... But again, people, then we'd have the same problem. People be all kinds of people.
Oh yeah,
everybody go. Let's go to Fort Worth.
Where are we going to grow our beans and our corn? If
yeah,
anybody's living here?
Myself right there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's true. So, is there like a favorite restaurant you got down there?
Yeah, Whataburger. Haven't heard of it?
Oh,
Whataburger, yeah.
Oh yeah,
heard it.
Yeah,
it's way better than In-N-Out. So,
so J Ray, what's the best burger?
In-N-Out?
I think In-N-Out's way. I've had
okay.
Whataburger
Yeah,
actually. I went to Texas.
Fries taste like cardboard. So
No,
they do.
Yeah, animal style. Well, come on. Nah, he's hating. Thank you, man. I think it's better. I mean, I've had Whataburger. I mean, it's not bad. It smells good when you walk in there. Oh, I'll give you that.
Oh yeah,
but it don't taste as good.
I can't say that I've had either.
Yeah, no, whatever. No, it seems, yeah.
And so, because my wife and I like to travel a little bit, and we generally drive because she's afraid of flying. But and we'll probably never see San Diego, even though her grandmother actually lives near San Diego in El Cajon.
El Cajon, yeah.
So,
Yeah, you guys take the bus. You just like John.
No, we take the Jeep.
Oh
long
yeah,
drive.
yeah.
Well, it'd be a long drive, but we've done it before when I was a kid. We drove out to Cerritos, which is near Long Beach in California, up in the LA area. But we don't ever eat at a place that's a chain. We always try to find that mom and pop place. So okay, you're a Whataburger guy, but what's the food that you can only get down in DFW?
It has lots of food to it, but I'm honestly not sure.
So, because Coach Paramore, he wants bald peanuts.
Yeah, I know, but
hey, I was down in northern Arkansas a couple weeks ago, and they had some boiled peanuts, but it was in a bag. I thought, no, I can't do that.
Same thing, I don't think. And
he really thought that he could go into any gas station around here and pick up some boiled peanuts.
He's like, I can't believe you guys don't have boiled peanuts and like Quick Star. And I'm like, oh man, we have bananas for 29 cents a pound. I don't know what you need those boiled peanuts for, but yeah.
So J Ray, what do you got back home that you can't get here?
Oh man, the taco shop. That's my favorite.
The taco shop.
Taco shop, Mexican food.
So is it authentic Mexican or is it Americanized?
No, it's Mexican food. I mean, being from San Diego, I'm like 30 minutes from the border, but
right. You ever spend much time down in TJ?
Oh, I don't like going down there.
No, but you've been there.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like going down.
A little sketchy, is it?
Yeah, we could say that.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, just Mexican food. I mean, where I'm from, we have pretty good Mexican food. I mean, I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm not a big seafood guy, but I know we're pretty famous for seafood. Let me think. Yeah, I mean, that's just about it. For me, it's that or my mom's home cooked food. I love my mom's food. Like, my mom makes, like, my favorite dish is baked mac and cheese. So it's with the big noodles and the hard on top. Mm-hmm. That is my favorite dish of all time. I could eat that every day. But that's,
You would have a different profile if you ate that.
You'd
Yeah.
look like Troy and I.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe a little bigger.
Right. Yeah. We changing positions, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, D-line.
Yeah. Right.
Defensive end, maybe.
I'll tell you, Seth, that Andy will remember this. You probably have no clue what I'm talking about. But when I was growing up, one of the favorite shows that my parents watched was Dallas. And I love the theme song of Dallas. Andy, do you remember that?
Vaguely. I
Oh,
was
my God.
not a
J.R. Ewing and all that stuff. You
dude. It was a
remember any of that?
soap opera on it.
Yeah, but I know I was around and my mom and dad watched it. I think my mom liked it more than my dad.
Who shot Jr.?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember, but I do know the theme song. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Well,
The show Dallas?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You never heard of that?
they did bring it
It's in the
back.
70s.
Yeah, they brought it back like in 2008 for like a year or two for whatever reason. It just wasn't the same thing. I didn't watch that either, but I do love the theme song for that. So I just imagine that when you roll into Dallas, that everybody's like, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Nothing. That's not,
Nothing.
You know what? Check it out on Amazon Music or whatever your favorite music service
Or
is.
don't and say you did.
Yeah, there
and
you
just
go.
make Troy happy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So being so close, are you a Cowboy fan?
I'm actually a Panthers fan.
Really? You know, I should have known that from your Twitter. Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
absolutely.
Big
How'd that
Christian
happen?
McCaffrey guy.
Oh,
Big Christian McCaffrey
okay.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
Before I got drafted, I said whichever team he goes to is my favorite team.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So little Christian McCaffrey lore is when he was playing for Stanford.
Oh yeah.
What his first 3 possessions in the Rose Bowl against Iowa? He ran for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tough.
Oh yeah.
Pretty tough. Jerry, what are you like? Are you an Aztec guy or what's your?
Yeah, I would say, I like State. I mean, I'm not too I love so I'm a Chargers fan. I can say that for football wise.
Yeah, not the Briar Cliff Chargers, but
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna even say
The Los Angeles
Right.
Chargers.
I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
say LA. I'm just a Chargers fan.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I like San Diego State a lot. I mean, I have a lot of guys I played football with and guys in my community I know that go there. So
Yep.
I support them all the time,
Sure.
I mean, they're usually in the run for winning the Mountain West every year. So they've made big impact on our community.
Yeah.
I like USC. I mean, Reggie Bush went to USC. I like USC a lot. But yeah, I would say those are my teams. When I was a kid, I liked Michigan State a lot. I mean, part of it was because I
All
like.
right, this is over.
Yeah, yeah, I know. They're like you guys are like
Right?
No.
I don't have an opinion about that.
I mean, I was a kid. I mean,
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
like the logo. I mean, the Spartans. Was
Yeah,
cool
that's
to me and
cool.
Stuff, but
yeah.
but I'm really more of a San Diego State USC type. Of
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Mark D'Antonio smile,
No.
Seth?
No.
No. I think the man he's got some sort of problem with his nerves in his face. He doesn't smile. He's always scowling
Mm-hmm.
all the time. So Seth, who did you? What was your college team?
I'm a big Texas Tech fan. I just
Oh yeah.
love the black and red, and I've visited there before. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, go on YouTube and look for the Texas Bell Ringer video.
Yeah.
That's it's not something for polite company. It's absolutely hilarious.
Oh, really?
We'll look at it after we're done
Okay.
with the podcast because it's really funny. You'll have to remind me.
All the children are going to look it up now.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of kids listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
and both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's if their parents are like, go to bed.
Funny thing, speaking of kids, and my kids are older. The oldest boy last week is driving to a wedding from Kansas City, and he's listening to our episodes and some back. It's a long drive, and call him, and he's like, yeah, it's just like being on a trip with Dad, except maybe a little bit better because someone else gets to talk.
Yeah, I got that video from your wife of you giving the. What were you talking about in Sioux City? You're driving around
Yeah.
and the boys were looking at their phones.
Well, we like to make a family trip of it, So it's nice to go out to the away games, do something different on a weekend, and so we went out to Sioux City, which is the core of Discovery. Lewis and Clark stopped by there. We had Sergeant Floyd was the only person to die on that mission, and that's where he's buried. So I'm explaining on Sunday morning as we're driving to Sergeant Floyd's monument to my 16-year-old and my 13-year-old who are sitting in the back, all of this amazing, how we got to this point, what the core of Discovery, what was that all about and how everything.
The Louisiana Purchase and such.
100%. And my wife, God bless her heart, she I'm busy driving and lecturing and really into it. And she's just like, she decides to get her phone out and then turn around and see what the boys are doing. And they are not listening. They got their AirPods in. They're not listening. They're looking on their phone, whatever. So, and then she comes around to me and I keep on rolling because I have no idea. That, by the way, went viral. As viral as our family gets. I can't believe how many people then throughout this week at the different events that I go to are like, hey, and I saw that video. I'm like, of course you did. That's what you want to talk about, or I'm silly. Yeah.
You weren't being silly. You were being informative.
Yeah.
And I found it riveting.
Did you though?
No,
not
at all.
All right.
No. All right, Seth, what are you majoring in?
Criminal justice.
What would you like to do with that?
Either go to the military, or become a police officer.
Oh, well,
Okay.
we'll have a conversation
My dad gave
a little bit later.
My dad gave me 3 options at high school. He's either go to college, military, or police force. So I'm going to college, studying about the police force. I might go to the military. So
Right.
put all 3 of them together.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
good for you.
I feel like that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I also graduated from Waldorf, and then I went to the military.
Oh, yeah.
26 years later, retired. So it was a pretty nice deal.
Yeah, retired. If you can live in a bunker like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hang out, mow the lawn.
26 years. Come on. Yeah. And so, J. Ray, what's your major?
I'm a sport management major.
What do we want to do with our sports management major?
I kind of just want to take that knowledge and then for the long run, eventually open up my own athletic business. I mean, maybe try to give back to my community and people who've helped me a lot.
Right.
That's kind of my thing, or maybe even open an athletic business out here sometime. I feel like I'd be, pretty valuable to the community too. A guy who graduated from Waldorf who's interested in helping, either the younger kids or any generation get better or whatever it is they like.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you didn't say the exact same thing. It's like, you got your degree and that sports management, and then you're like, what do you want to do with that? And then you didn't come right back in and it's like, well, I'm thinking maybe law enforcement, the military, because it's the same answer or whatever.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Well, maybe they could work together if that's what happens.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll know this guy for a long time. I mean, even if he does join like a military or whatever, man, I feel like people who join the military, it's all respect to them, dude. Because me personally, I don't think I could do that. But for the people who do it, I respect them greatly.
Well, as a guy who plays defense as well as you do, I'm pretty sure that you got it figured out. And I didn't think the basic training for me was any harder than 2-a-days. So,
well then,
you got it figured out. So, yeah. See, other stuff later that can get in the way a little bit, but most people figure that out. So,
Seth, if you had to choose, what branch would you want to go into?
I'm not sure. Whatever I can make the most money in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, news for you is that they all pay the same. The old the rating scale E1 through O10, they're all the same pay. Doesn't matter what the branch is. Maybe just different uniforms and sometimes different insignia for rank. Yep. Yeah. So pretty level across.
The Navy.
Didn't know that.
I don't know about that, but
boat.
Yeah. I got a friend in the Navy. He said he didn't like it too much. So
there you go. Let's stay on land.
Yeah, and say my old man when
he was a Navy guy.
1957 was out in San Diego.
Yeah.
And he went through basic out there at the naval station out in San Diego, and then came back to Iowa to marry the love of his life, married her, and then they went to Port Townsend, Washington, and then he finished his tour back in San Diego in like 1962.
You could have been a San Diegan.
Well, and that's what he said. He said, because, he loved it. He said, why would anybody not live in San Diego, California? He said, the weather is the same all the time, and it's perfect.
Yeah, that's
and the old man was all about weather.
Yeah. We talk about it every day. Did you find yourself talking about weather a lot more than you used to?
Well, that's kind of a occupational hazard.
Watch out, guys. It'll happen.
No, exactly.
Hey, well, the temperature how much rain we get? I don't have a gauge.
No, 75 and sunny on Saturday. I'll tell you that right now.
Saturday's going to be amazing. The weather is fantastic. We're going to be also recording an episode for next week at the GridIron the tailgate area. So that'll be an outdoor opportunity. And I did look at the weather, and that is looking like it's going to be
it's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah,
right. So, Seth, do you ever have family get back for any games?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, actually, my freshman year, my sister and my aunt and my little family like that came, so that was pretty nice. But
that's a haul.
That's
a haul.
13-hour drive here and then 13 hours back.
Yeah, it's not exactly something that you can't really make a weekend of it because you're driving the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, J. Ray? You get any family back ever?
Yeah. Last year was the first time my mom and my sister got to see me play in 3 years, so it was pretty tight. They were able to come fly out here and watch. So.
That's pretty great. Are they going to try to make it out for?
My mom will. My sister just had a newborn, so she's gonna come to my
J.
graduate.
Ray.
Yeah, I actually I have twin nieces, and then this is my second nephew she has. So she already has one knucklehead nephew I have, but yeah, he's a little knucklehead. But he's awesome. He's still awesome though. He's the best. And then now she just had her second boy, so
Cool.
yeah, I'm pretty excited to see him. I haven't seen him yet, so
Right. So Seth, tell me a little bit about your family. Who you got?
Well, mainly I just grew up with my father and my sister, and then spent a lot of time with my aunt, my uncle, my grandma, and my granny Elma, love her. So just mainly my father's side, and my mom's been there, but she's gone through stuff in the past,
Yeah.
and then but recently she's been here with me. So just mainly my father's side, just me,
Nice.
my father, and my sister. Yeah,
What's your dad's name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah,
Nice. How old's your dad?
43.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of old, Troy.
Right. Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
When I start talking about, well, these guys could be my kids. It's
Yeah.
they're
I know.
their fathers and mothers
Yeah,
could be my
that's
niece
all right.
and nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's a little younger than us. That's okay though.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
J. Ray, what do we got for fam?
For me, it's just my mom, and then I have an older brother, who's the oldest, two sisters, and then I'm the youngest. So, and I have a god sister as well, and godmom.
Okay. So you're the baby of the family.
Yeah, I'm the baby.
Was that tough or was that good?
I think it was good. I mean, I think it was good.
They look out for you?
Yeah,
Did you get away with more?
I would say that. Yeah,
Yeah, probably. And they'll probably
they'll probably
say
the
that.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, guys, we're looking ahead at the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're looking right now at Saint Ambrose and Saint Ambrose alone, but can't help but think that there's not some teams on the schedule that got a big red circle around them.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know what's coming. Who we got?
I mean, me personally, I'm excited for Ferris State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the game. I mean, obviously, everyone I feel is going to have us picked not to win, but that is the game where, like, dude, you get to play against the best D2 in the nation.
Right.
You know?
Second best.
Yeah.
Second best.
Northwest Missouri State.
I mean, he says that because that's where he went.
That's where I went to school.
Okay.
Ferris State beat them last, so
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they did well against Ferris State, but
Yeah.
better than maybe anybody else.
They did better than anybody else, but not good enough. It was still like a 20-point game.
Yeah, but it's a new year and it's a different team. You know, they got people coming back. They have lost some people as well. So, and it's always fun to come in and be the scrappy underdog.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and you guys, I mean, it's going to be so exciting. It's our homecoming game, reigning Division II national champion. You're going to be playing in front of between 7,000 and 8,000 people on game day Saturday in Big Rapids, Michigan, and just the environment is going to be huge for you guys. You got to be looking forward to that.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about that's going to be really cool?
Me personally, it's just the competition.
Mm-hmm.
I love when people are bigger or they're supposed to be bigger, better, badder, stronger, faster. You know, I love that stuff, man. It's just opportunity for us guys. I mean, unfortunately, like, I'm not the biggest linebacker, but my mindset and my willpower, I love being able to put that out there and display it. Like, yeah, you're bigger than me, but show me that you can be bigger than me, you know?
You can tackle them.
Yeah, you know, we'll
Heck
see.
yeah, that's the fun part.
But it's just competition, you know? I think a lot of guys on our team are real hard competitors. I mean, we always break out, compete, you know? It's one of the things, our mindsets as our team that we all hold together, and that's what I'm most excited for.
Awesome.
What are you looking forward to, Seth?
I think you hit that right in the nail. I like that. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and that's one of the things too, is that as I'm talking to people around, they're like, "You're playing who? Ferris State,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Division II national champion last year." Like, well, that's probably not going to go well. Well, why would we travel? What is it? 12 hours, 12 and a half hours out there.
It's far.
It's like driving down to Fort Worth,
Yeah.
you know, to play a football game. If you're not going to give everything that you can give to try to beat the Bulldogs,
Yeah, for sure.
shock the world, man.
Yeah.
Because they're not. I mean, there's very few people in the national media that are going to be looking at us to do anything.
We have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
It makes you dangerous.
Everything to gain, you know. Even if we do go out there and it's a really tough game, man, dude, we're gonna gain so much from that game, and we're gonna get better. You know, and that's right before where the schedule gets even tougher for our division. You know,
Yeah.
our NorthStar Conference. So I think it's just a good opportunity for us to get better. You know.
Yep. So what are some of the team's goals this year? I know that coach has gone through them, but Seth, what are some of the things that you keep hearing?
Win conference.
Yeah.
Just go 1-0 every single week and win conference.
Yep.
That's probably the biggest goal.
Yep. That's great. And I'm looking forward to, well, we got Valley City and not Valley City, I'm sorry, Dakota State in 3 weeks, or no, 2 weeks actually.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks. We have a couple non-conference opponents. That's going to be big. You never know about Dakota. We've always handled them, for the most part. But then the Valley City game, the Dickinson game's always something that everybody looks at. But looking forward that far, it's really pointless, to be honest, because we've got Saint Ambrose coming to town.
That's right. The Bees are. Like I said, I don't know what they're doing. You guys probably have seen a lot of film, you know, and you got a plan, obviously. You feel like you're ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tired of practicing. I just want to play already.
Yeah.
That's around this time of week is when you could feel everyone's just like, dude, we just need to play them. Like, we just need to get out there and just play them. Like, we bang each other so much. That stuff builds up,
Yeah.
We're just ready.
Yeah, you want to do that. And I'll say this about they do like to hire from within. Like, if you look at the bios for most of the coaches at the St. Ambrose, they're all like alum, with the exception of maybe 2 guys.
Yeah, head coaches.
They're all alum.
Played football there. Yeah. And he was the DC.
Yeah.
I think he was a GA there too, wasn't he?
Well, I don't know about that. I didn't really memorize his stats, but I did make that note that there's a lot of B alumni.
Yeah, Coach Phillips, I think, is the new head coach, if I remember correctly. First year guy, and he's pretty excited about it, obviously, and they want to come up here and prove something.
Right. This is their first game. Yeah, and it's our opener, and it's community night. So you guys, got to, you're performing in front of do you feel like the community is supportive? I mean, it's the same time here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's a great job. From what when we got here, it was the Littrell era, and we were hearing before that it wasn't the greatest. He would explain to us how before he had gotten there no one really supported Waldorf football. They thought of Waldorf as, a bad thing, as, these kids, were doing bad stuff or they just weren't performing well, and then once the culture started to change here, and it's been a pretty big culture change here, and it's a great change that we have now. It's cool to see that, when we came in, dude, you guys support us greatly in a small town like that. You couldn't ask for anything else.
Well, it's the biggest thing going, every, and it's no different, I think, anywhere in America. Big cities, I suppose, really not that much different than rural, but I think it might be, and I can't speak to this, I'm only guessing because I didn't, when I lived in a big city, I was, an adult. So it seems like everybody supports their high school programs, they're fans of their kids when they're playing, and then you go out and support whatever it is that your kids are doing. And so you expect that from our communities. That certainly is a big deal for all of the communities, around here. And certainly I can tell you that I appreciate when you guys came out, so Friday night, the high school team in Forest City, they won their game against, the county, our rival in the conference. We played district football, but that was a conference rival, a little smaller school, and won. And you guys, as you often do as a team, you come over from after your practice and stop by, and if you're not on the road on a Friday night, it's really awesome for the kids to see it. My son Jack, I said, "Hey, did you notice that the Warriors were there?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I dropped the punt. When you guys were there, he's back to receive the punt, and then he thought he had it, and then he thought he was going to run and just whatever. So he was a little embarrassed about that. But it's so awesome when you guys come out, and then you do the High Five Fridays at the elementary school. Oh, yeah. So you're a big part of our community, and we just hope that that you see that we really do as a community appreciate that.
Yeah. I think we see it too. I mean, I think for us it helps us, with our confidence and everything, knowing that you guys see us as a good thing and you guys are supporting us.
I talked to a lady recently, just this week. Actually, it was today. Now I don't know why I make it seem it doesn't irrelevant, but she said that I was at something I've always wanted to do. I was at Quick Star, and I was getting in line, and these group of Waldorf guys, they were there, and they said go ahead because she only had a couple of items. So she gets up there to the checkout, and she's like, well, I'll get with these guys. I'll pay for these guys whatever they've got. And so it was like $20 or whatever it is. But they were like, no, you don't have to do that. And she's like, no, I wouldn't suggest it if I didn't want to do it. We're glad you're here. We love Waldorf. And so I really appreciate her sharing that story with me. And I hope that happens to you. You're thinking like, You just like hang out at Quick Start and be like, probably somebody going to buy this for me if I just hang around long enough, right? Well, I hope that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this program has high expectations of you gentlemen as players, and just from and not just on the football field, how you interact in the community and things like that, and that starts from the top down. Coach Finley has that expectation of how you interact within the community, within your family, that's the team, and then obviously at the university as well. So,
and what you do after you graduate and you go out and you do great things. You represent usually a little bit of North Iowa with you, and
So true.
for the rest of your life.
so you guys aren't looking for houses or anything around here?
I don't know, man.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Going back where it's warm?
I do miss my weather, man.
You miss your weather, man.
Yeah.
Like just a particular
not
guy,
my
just
weather,
like you
man.
watch.
Not my
Like,
weather,
listen, that guy's my weatherman. He told me it's 72 and sunny every single day. Yeah.
No, I do. I don't think I'd buy a house. I mean, maybe when I'm about to retire and I'm old, maybe like 50.
Nobody retires here.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
When you're old at 50?
Yeah.
I mean,
Also-
60.
Come on, man.
You know, well, we're just going to move on.
Killing
to
me,
another-
J. Ray.
another-
I mean,
another
my mom's
subject here.
like
my
50
goodness.
57 or something
So-
like that. It's like,
Oh, she's very young.
Yeah, right?
she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
She would
Whippersnapper.
get mad at me if I said she was old.
Well, she's going to listen to this, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. You said 50 was old.
I love you, Mom.
Yeah, she knows that.
She's
So,
like, well, I'm not coming out now.
yeah, exactly. I don't know if I can find my way.
No,
Yeah. So, Seth, what brought you to Waldorf? What was that story like from going to school, high school down there, and then ending up here?
Well, my senior year, I tore my ACL the very first game of senior year, and it was crazy because I went to the doctor. Actually, the first game I tore my ACL, they thought I hyperextended my knee. So the second game, I played with the hyperextended knee, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't feel right. So towards the third game, I got an MRI a few days before. Doctor found out I completely tore my ACL. I'm like, wow. And he's like, yeah, I don't know how you're walking right now, standing right now, running now. I'm like, whoa. And he's like, yeah, you're not human. I was like, can I still play? He's like, well, you might have to wear a big brace, but yeah, you can play. So I just made sure to ball out my senior year. And then when the offers started coming in, Waldorf who called me? It was Coach Perisher, Coach Littrell, Coach Hauser got in contact with me and offered me a very good offer. And I was like, wow, I'll take it. So I just want to go somewhere money-wise. So, yeah.
And you'd never heard of Waldorf University before that day.
No.
Yeah. Well, and we're super excited to have you up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, your upside is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Going into the rest of the season.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be really fun to watch you, develop that talent because like I said earlier, you've always had that intensity on the practice field, on the playing field. And now we have an offense that's really gonna make that show out for you.
Oh, yeah.
And again, there's so many weapons, including yourself on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm a little bit more than excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a lot of time in the locker room the next couple of days, but I'll tell you what, Saturday, I'm all in. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
So, J. Ray, you go from San Diego, California to Forest City, Iowa.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
Did you lose a bet?
No bets lost. No, it kind of started. So Coach Hauser is the one who recruited me over here.
He's a California kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, he actually went to Mission Hills. His father is a head coach at Mission Hills, and Mission Hills is actually a really good high school program in San Diego as well. They're up there as well with Helix, and pretty much. I was trying to look into other schools, Azusa Pacific, but unfortunately they had closed their D2 program in California. I wanted to stay home, but one of my main goals was just to get college paid for the best I can. And Waldorf came in. What better place to go than the Helix Charter High School? He offered a lot of guys from my school, but for those guys had other things rather than me. But he offered me, and it just at the time it was just perfect. It was just kind of what I needed to do. I kind of needed to get out, from my situation, and it was just best for me to leave. And Waldorf offered me a lot of money, so
good.
I kind of without even coming here, I just said, you know what, dude, you offer me this much, I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come and play. You guys need backers, I'm gonna go there and I'm busting my tail off, and I ended up here. So
thank goodness.
Yeah,
and it's one of those that
leading tackle from last week. Yeah. Worked out.
Got to be honest, spending time on the sidelines and practice and during games, it's one of those. Seth sometimes will get a little bit, he'll start talking, and it's one of those things that he'll get up in somebody's grill, and it's it's fun to watch, and it's always justified too, which is even better.
Yeah.
But and it's one of those things that both of these guys.
There was a little enthusiasm in the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah,
Saturday.
yeah,
yeah.
I still remember Seth coming up. What were you saying? Who's slow?
Yeah.
So he's like, who's slow? I don't know if he was saying that for you, Jay Ray, or who.
Probably. I mean, I talk to this guy all the time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so, but it's one of those things. These are two very serious individuals.
Yeah.
And then when I asked Coach Finley, I said, hey, we'd really like to have Seth and Jay Ray on this episode. This is, two standouts on both sides of the ball. But then I started thinking, during game time, these guys are dialed in. It's kind of like 100% focus. This is most I've heard Jay Ray talk ever.
Yeah.
Ever. He's extremely serious, practice field and otherwise. And like I said, Seth, you just never know. It must be his mood or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes he's all talk. Sometimes he's pretty quiet and dialed in. And either way, it seems to be working, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're getting close to our time, Troy. So
We are.
Yep. I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank Seth Oakes, or Soaks, if you will.
Absolutely.
Jacob Ray, or Jay Ray,
Mm-hmm.
for coming out to the Secret Underground Bunker and visiting with us for a little bit. It was great to get to know you guys a little bit more. Cannot wait for Saturday's game.
Yeah, come out. You're hearing this. Obviously, you're a fan of the program. Every week we get a chance to learn a little bit more about the players, the coaches, and just whatever we can dig up. And it's just an awesome opportunity. So, you're listening to this. I'm assuming that you're going to come to the game, and
There's no reason not to come out.
Community night, lots of
Community
other
night.
things going on, lots of things for the kids. Bring the extended family, whatever you got. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, support these young men. They deserve that at the least, because the effort that they've been putting in for weeks is going to translate onto the field. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them play on Saturday. Looking forward to whatever is dealt out there, and it's going to be quality. So you want to see good football? Show up on Saturday. Tailgating starts about 1:00. I think that there's going to be people there before that.
Well, probably. I mean, there's certain contingents that are, they might live there, but they will be there. Andy will be recording next week's episode. It'll be a fun time putting that together.
Yep. That should be interesting.
Right. And we're going to have Plinko. Excited about Plinko.
yeah.
Remember we talked about that at the most recent meeting, and Plinko, I made a Plinko board like 5 years ago.
It's a price.
I found it recently, and I'm like, this is going to the tailgate area. So,
And why not?
yeah, why not?
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys one more time just for taking some time out of your day. I know you guys have a lot on your schedule, just for us to get to know you a little bit better, and for the listeners to get to know you a little bit better. Thanks so much for being here, gentlemen. For Troy Thompson and Andy Buffington, thanks for listening to the Waldorf GridIron Podcast. And as ever and always, go Warriors. You can join the Waldorf GridIron Club today by sending a check to the Waldorf GridIron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa 50436.
Or message us by visiting and like our Facebook page, Waldorf GridIron Club, or email us at waldorfgridironclub@gmail.com.
Or it's as easy as clicking on the Support the Show link on your phone. Become a patron of the Gridiron Club by choosing to support the program monthly. $100 is the Black membership at $9 a month.
The $250 level is Purple at $25 a month.
$500 is the Warrior membership at $45 a month.
The All-Conference level is $750 or $65 a month.
$1,000 is the All-American membership at $85 a month.
The Champion level is $125 a month, and that's $1,500 a year.
$2,500 is the Hall of Fame membership.
The Waldorf GridIron Club Podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farmstead Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. The music is by Christian Leo. The Waldorf GridIron Club is a non-profit 501c3 organization dedicated to football student athletes of Waldorf University.
Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.